Hello and welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. Mobilization of all institutions to manage the rainy situation. Third edition of the National Week on Cybersecurity. And on the international scene, a truck hits a bus station in Israel, leaving at least 50 people injured. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The Prime Minister Mr. Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed received today in his office the new ambassador of the United States of America to Djibouti. Discussions between the Prime Minister and the U.S. ambassador covered joint initiatives aimed at enhancing regional security with a focus on the situation in Somalia, Yemen, on the Red Sea, and regional geopolitics, including how to coordinate and cooperate with UN programs on the issues of combating human trafficking and mass migration. The two sides also discussed U.S. investments through USAID's development program targeting priority development areas such as education, employment, and energy. For his part, the Prime Minister discussed also water resource management via a desalination plant and wind power for agriculture in the north. The U.S. ambassador pledged her commitment to support Djibouti with the aim of boosting direct investments as well as trade between the U.S. and Djibouti. The Prime Minister, Mr. Abdulqadir Kamil Mohammed, also received in office the special envoy of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Finland to promote virtual cooperation between the two countries, Mr. Sultan Saeed Ahmed, who was recently appointed head of relations with East African countries. The special envoy for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Finland is on regional tour aimed at strengthening strategic partnerships and promoting the organization of meetings led by Djibouti, focused on supporting international laws and the Finnish Somali policy conciliation program. This initiative includes a mediation approach to promote peace between Somalia and Ethiopia in cooperation with Qatar and Turkey, recalling Djibouti's efforts under the Arta Peace Accords in the early 2000s. During the discussions, several regional issues were addressed, the crisis in Yemen and Sudan, as well as the challenges facing the region. The two sides also discussed peaceful solutions and development of a concrete action plan to mobilize all stakeholders to achieve the region's aspirations for peace and cooperation. The Djibouti delegation, led by Minister of Economy and Finance Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dawali, participated in a high-level meeting organized by the International Monetary Fund in Washington. The minister was accompanied by the Minister of Budget Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble and the Governor of the Central Bank Mr. Ahmed Usman Ali. The Djiboutian delegation held a meeting with representatives from Middle East, North Africa, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. The meeting is part of the annual meetings of the World Bank Group in the International Monetary Fund, which will be held from 21st to 26th of October of this year. The minister presented Djibouti's vision for its relationship, highlighting the economic challenge facing the country. He highlighted the country's limited capacities in the face of external crisis, exacerbated by the dynamics and migratory movements between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. The minister described the difficult geopolitical situation in the Horn of Africa and expressed concerns about the social repercussions of the crisis. The meeting helped to highlight Djibouti's crucial needs and the need for collective action to address current challenges while strengthening economic and strategic ties with the region. And of course, during the IMF annual meetings, the Djiboutian delegation also participated in a panel discussion focused on digital identity, providing a platform for exchange with experts from the World Bank on the implementation of the system in Djibouti. This project, which was launched with a German company, has faced several obstacles since its inception. The Minister of Finance reiterated the commitment of the Djiboutian authorities to the successful implementation of this project. He also expressed his concerns about the obstacles faced by the current system. The World Bank experts emphasized the assessment of the system were planned in order to inform the authorities on corrective actions to be taken into consideration. This meeting allowed for enhanced discussions on the importance of operational digital identity for Djibouti's economic and social development, while also strengthening partnerships with international financial institutions. This morning, the minister in charge of decentralization and acting Minister of Interior, Mr. Qasim Harun Ali, conducted an inspection and assessment visit to the main arteries where rainwater had accumulated. Following the rains, all relevant state agencies, primarily the Civil Defense and the Mayor of Djibouti City, were mobilized to pump water to the main arteries of the city and the districts and neighborhoods severely affected by the floods. All units of the armed forces participated in the evacuation of people, provided logistical support for the distribution of food and other assistance, ensured the security of the various sites, and participated in the collection of standard people in several places in Djibouti City. During his inspection visit this morning, the acting Minister of Interior and Minister of Decentralization, Mr. Qasim Harun Ali, confirmed the mobilization of all state resources and security forces to ensure the safety of citizens and mitigate the effects of the floods in the country. As part of improving the management of rainwater and sanitation, the head of sanitation department, Mrs. Faiza, and the Director of Sanitation, Mr. Muhammad Ali Ahmed, supervises the opening and rehabilitation of pipes. This work aims to ensure effective drainage of rainwater, especially after the recent heavy rains that hit the country. The field teams carried out in-depth inspections and targeted interventions to clear blockages in the sewage networks. Rehabilitating sewage networks is critical to preventing flooding and improving the quality of life of residents. These measures were an approach aimed at strengthening the city's resilience to climate risks. Drainage work will continue over the coming days with the aim of completing all operations before the next rainy season. In the same context, the Humbuli Wadi is currently at flood stage following heavy rainfall on the outskirts of Djibouti. The torrential rains, which have fallen in abundance since Thursday, have increased the volume of water, causing to the wadi to overflow into the Humbuli. This sanitation has caused disruption into road traffic, reminding residents of past events in the capital when the Wadi of Humbuli also was flooded, causing heavy material damage. Local authorities and the security forces in charge of the capital's management quickly intervened to mitigate the effects of the flooding and erase traffic flow on the country's main arteries. The Ministry of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli, chaired a workshop to develop a national reference framework to contraceptive climate eligibility criteria, capacity building on health professionals in the areas of contraception of women at risk, post form of consumption and recommendations for new family planning methods. The workshop was held in the presence of UNFPA representative in Djibouti, Mrs. Aisha Ibrahim Jama, the General Director of the University Hospital Center of Djibouti, Dr. Umar Mohamed Ismail, and the Technical Director of the hospital, Dr. Ahmed Boutak. The overall objective was to provide and build the capacity of health professionals and contraception for women risk, postpartum contraception, and recommendations for new family planning methods in order to improve women's access to quality and long-lasting contraception. The government of the Republic of Djibouti has been implementing an ambitious action plan for years now to improve the delivery of quality family planning services in collaboration with the United Nations Population Fund. In this regard, UNFPA's main activities in collaboration with the Ministry of Health focuses on improving the scope of healthcare services, increasing the availability and use of family planning services, and strengthening the supply chain for reproductive health family planning products. Archaeological sites are cultural treasures that reflect the rich history and heritage of peoples. They tell the stories of ancient civilization and contribute to understanding the evolution of societies over time. By studying the inscriptions, buildings, and tools used, researchers can explore aspects of daily life, beliefs, and social systems that prevailed in certain periods. By preserving and developing these sites, communities can capitalize on their cultural and economical value, making them an integral part of sustainable development. With this in mind, the Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibu Mumin Asowi, led an official delegation to the Markarasu district in the Tajura region. The delegation included the chairman of the Tajura Regional Council, Umar Hussein, the parliamentarian lady Umma Muhammad, Assistant Government Habib Jilani, Colonel Ali Shehem, UNESCO representative, researchers from the Regional Center for Studies and Development, an official from Djibouti Post, and high-level officials from the National Agency for the Development of Cultural of the Ministry of Youth and Culture. Through this expedition, the Minister Hibu Mumin Asawi wanted to get a closer look at the objective wealth of the site in preparation for the submission of Djibouti's third nomination at the UNESCO's World Heritage Register. This nomination aims to accelerate the process of preserving and supporting the site through associated scientific and academic studies. Archaeological sites play a vital role in the local economy through cultural tourism, attracting visitors from around the world, contributing to the development of surrounding communities by creating jobs and also improving infrastructure. They also contribute to encouraging research and academic studies, thereby enhancing human knowledge. Shifting gears towards the Parliament, where the Social Development and Environmental Protection Committee, chaired by the Parliament member Mr. Kamil Hamad, held a session on Sunday to discuss a draft law related to the adoption of the new strategy for functional literacy for adults. The meeting was brought together by members of Parliament and was held in the presence of the Minister of Women and Family, Mrs. Muna Usman Aden, accompanied by her closest aides. At the end of these discussions, the participants approved the project for adoption at the next plenary session of the National Assembly. The Sheraton Hotel hosted this morning the third edition of the National Cybersecurity Week, organized by the National Agency for State Information System. This new edition was inaugurated by the General Secretary of the Government, Mr. Almis Mohammed Abdullah, in the presence of the Secretary General of the Ministry of Digital Economy and Innovation, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim Umar, and the General Director of the National Agency for State Information Systems, Mr. Mustafa Muhammad Ismail. In addition to officials, this third edition brought together representatives of public and private organizations, security agencies, including the National Gendarmerie and the National Police, as well as civil society representatives. The main objective is to strengthen the capacity of public and private organizations in managing digital risks and to raise awareness among different actors on current threats. This week is a unique opportunity for representatives of public and private organizations, stakeholders, and members of civil society to enhance their skills in the field of cybersecurity. Developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Women and Family, the National Police, the platform offers citizens a quick and safe way to report inappropriate or legal contact, such as online harassment and cyberbullying. The General Director of the National Agency for State Information Systems, Mr. Mustafa Muhammad Ismail, highlighted the urgent need for collective vigilance in the face of digital risks. He emphasized the importance of strengthening national capacities to anticipate and respond threats. He also set the tone for this edition. His intervention marked the beginning of a week rich in exchange and training, mobilizing many stakeholders. The General Secretary of the Ministry of Digital Economy took the floor to highlight the strategic challenge of cyber security in the country's digital transformation. He emphasized the need for collaboration between the public and private sectors to protect data and systems. He also highlighted the government's proactive vision in this area. For his part, the Secretary General of the Government, Mr. Almis Mohammed Abdullah, addressed the collective responsibility in the face of increasing digital threats. He emphasized that cybersecurity is a key pillar of national security and citizen confidence. The General Inspector of State, Mr. Hassan Isa Sultan, participated in the Night Assembly on 11th International Conference of the Fiji Organization in Luanda, Republic of Angola, which took place from 22nd to 24th October 2024 in Luanda, Republic of Angola. The event was organized under the high patronage of the President of the Republic of Angola. About 100 delegates, member organizations, and many partners took part in the event. The organization's 11th International Conference, which focused on the theme fighting corruption and money laundering, investigation in corruption, cooperation allowed for wide-ranging reflection on ways to strengthen the capacity of member organizations in the act. The Ayla Hotel today morning hosted a regional forum on climate justice for young people from East Africa organized by the United Youth Association. The event, held under the auspice of the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development, brought together youth leaders, experts, and representatives of international organizations. Participants had the opportunity to exchange ideas and follow training seasons, simulating in the adoption of a joint declaration expressing youth priorities on climate justice in order to influence public policies at the regional and continental level. The forum also aims to create a regional network of young leaders, promote resource sharing, and coordinate actions in addressing climate challenge. Panel discussions and training will highlight testimonies and expert perspectives to increase participants' awareness of the challenge of inclusive climate change.
We are gathered here to witness this momentous occasion as we hold this East African Youth Forum on climate justice in this land of Djibouti. I congratulate our Djiboutian youth and the larger East African Youth Fraternity for coming up with this very, very brilliant thought. This is indeed a major milestone in our deliberate journey towards preparing our African youth for the challenge ahead. And this is a challenge of liberating this continent from the climate crisis that is facing it. We at the Pan-African Climate Justice Alliance are very proud of our amazing youth leadership demonstrated especially by our young people in this region. Our continent is youthful. Indeed, the average age in Africa, can you imagine, it's only 19.2. This is immense natural resource which remains highly unexploited. That is human capital. It is a capital that the world needs, but this is highly unexploited. Ladies and gentlemen, as the world leaders continue dragging their feet in seeking lasting solutions to this existential threat to mankind, Africa continues to sink deeper in devastating impacts of climate change.
The General Director of the National Agency for Persons with Special Needs, Mr. Douale Said Mahmoud, signed on Sunday an action plan with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, represented by the new representative in Djibouti, Mr. Philippe Coizon Saint-Crip, at the meeting room of the National Agency for Persons with Special Needs, located in Haramuz. The signing of the action plan is part of the ongoing commitment to the inclusion and improvement of the living conditions of persons with disabilities in relation to the integration of refugees. The Joint Action Plan aims to promote protection, social inclusion, and accessibility for refugees and migrants with disabilities living in Djibouti. This action plan is a step forward and is also a roadmap for fruitful partnership between the agency and UNHCR.
Qui réunit encore sur la signature.
The Djibouti Red Crescent today concluded an important training course held from 19 to 24th of October aimed at enhancing the skills of community leaders in disaster management and mitigation. This initiative, implemented in partnership with the Turkish cooperation agency TIKA and the Turkish humanitarian organization Kizlay, focused on disaster damage reduction as well as training of trainees in the areas of disease prevention, infection diseases, and hygiene in the post-disaster context. The ceremony was attended by several dignitaries, including the Secretary General of the Djibouti Red Crescent, Mrs. Amina Hussein Farah, the Ambassador of Turkey, and the coordinator of the Turkish Cooperation Agency TIKA in Djibouti. Their presence reflects the importance of this initiative to promote humanitarian cooperation and develop bilateral relations. This training, delivered by Turkish experts, enabled community representatives to gain knowledge and practical skills to intervene effectively during crises. By focusing on public health and hygiene measures, this initiative helps strengthen the resilience of communities in the face of emergencies. The collaboration between the Djibouti Red Crescent and its Turkish partners forms part of a wider framework of international cooperation aimed at improving risk management in the field of health and natural disasters. Ultimately, these trainings will enable the development of a network of trainees who are able to disseminate this knowledge within communities, thereby making crisis prevention and response actions more effective and sustainable.
Trainings are very crucial because directly to saving the human life, it is important. So I hope this training will cause saving the lives in Djibouti also, and I hope we will increase our collaboration together with Djibouti. Thank you very much.
Shifting gears towards the international scene now, the Israeli ambulance confirmed that 50 Israelis were injured, 15 of them seriously injured on Sunday when a truck crashed into a bus station north of Tel Aviv. The Israeli army radio, citing eyewitnesses, confirmed that a large number of injured are soldiers. The Israeli newspaper said that a number of the injured are trapped under a lorry and are in serious conditions. The Israeli ambulance confirmed that it is treating dozens of people in a truck attack north of Tel Aviv. Well, buddies, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more as usual. Have a wonderful evening, and please take care.